Hello. How are you today? Well, I'm Pam, and this is another episode of Friday Sews. So, I was just kind of perusing through YouTube this morning, just because I was bored of watching my other shows, and I was down here sewing. Well, I was stuffing a tailor's ham, okay? But, come across a video that just automatically pulls up from Mari Sews, and it was today's Friday Sews, and I'm like, huh? Is today really Friday? What? And so I pause my phone, and I go into the calendar, and there, smack dab, it was Friday. I'm like, what the heck? How did it get to be Friday? I should have realized, because yesterday my daughter had a dentist appointment, and it was on Thursday. But it just, took me by surprise that it was Friday already. I was like, oh my goodness. Where did the week go? So, it's Friday. So, So what did I sew this week? Well, so as many of you know, this is how I like to store my patterns. I'll trace them out, and then I'll fold up the pattern pieces that I traced off, and I'll store them in a Ziploc baggie with the pattern and the original stuff in the envelope, and then the trace stuff in the bag. That's why I have them in Ziploc baggies, because that's how I like to store them, after I use them and have it traced off. Just for your information. So this was 2374 Simplicity, and many of you know I made the bottom view with the top view. So I was making my sister a new pair, and I was making my niece a pair, and then I thought about it. I'm like, well, I don't have enough from that fabric to make me a pair of the same kind, so I chose to cut it down and make a pair for my other niece, because my sister has two daughters, and so now they can, all three of them, each have a pair. So this one is like a culottes style. I think she's 7, maybe. I think so. She might be older than that. She might be 8. But just a culotte style. So I made that one for my sister's youngest. I made this one here for my sister. And these I did not add pockets in this time. And then for her oldest daughter, I made this pair, and I put the elastics on the bottom because she likes elastic, and she's gonna have a growth spurt, so she's gonna get really tall. So I just left it the original length that it needed to be for the adult size, because she's a little bean, and she's gonna sprout up. And this I used a size 7, because I made the pair of shorts last week, pair of pants last week for my daughter, and so I just took that size 7 pattern and I just laid it on the fabric, and so it was so much too short for the pants, but so it just made a pair of shorts. So hopefully she likes that. So all 3 of them can go around, and I'll wear the same outfit at once. And I went to the post office today to ship off some packages. And so I got an Etsy order shipped off, which when I got the notification yesterday, I was like, what? Something sold on Etsy? Oh my goodness! I was shocked. Oh my goodness. So let me show you what sold on Etsy. So this one is mine. It's a Taylor Sam that I made. So I had another one just like this, and I'd made two of them, and I had posted it on Etsy, the second one with the little sleeve roll. So I posted this and this on Etsy, but the one that I did, it was skinnier, so I did it was like half this size, like half the skinniness and a little bit shorter. So I posted those on Etsy quite a while ago, actually, and so I didn't make very much off of it, probably nothing really, because I didn't list it for very much, and it was like $15 to ship. So I basically gave them away, you know. But it's okay. So I have these. Well, this one's like really much more packed. Like this one, it has become unpacked. But these ones I have like stuffed, and they're double layered. So they have like 4 pieces of fabric. 2 pieces on this side, 2 pieces on this side inside. So there's a solid white fabric, 100% cotton on the inside, just so it gives it that extra layer. And see, I even made a little tiny baby ham. But yeah, I was so surprised that one sold. I was like, wow. So I got it ready to ship, and I took it to the post office today. And then also to Melissa, I got your package shipped. So I got those. So where I was going with this is, I got back from the post. I was heading home from the post office, and it clicked in my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, I was supposed to put these in the shipping box and get them shipped off, because I have 2 more that go with this pile that I needed to get shipped off to my sister that lives in Chicago. Hence where this came from. It was from the Chicago patterns that she sent to me. So I got that sewn, and see, that was one of my projects I had going on this week. And then I have New Look 6963, and I made that view and so silly me, I decided I wanted to do the burrito method yoke, but I totally forgot about the facing around it, so it looks a little bit weird. So you got the burrito method, but then you've got this weird yoke piece, well, the weird facing, that just really doesn't go, but it's okay. So I have a portion of it done, and I actually did get the bottom hemmed too. So I guess basically all I have left to do on this. So I do need to put the binding on the armholes. So I'm just going to do a bias binding. So I am going to cut out some of that same fabric and make some bias binding, and then bind it around the hole and stuff. So and then I also need to do the buttonholes down the front. let's see, I got the facing on the sides, and it's got a pocket here. So my daughter, I kind of showed her it, and she's like, oh, will you put pockets towards the bottom too down here? I'm like, I guess. And she's like, and make it big enough for my phone. I'm like, all right, I can do that. So I still have to do 2 more pockets on this, the binding for the arms and the buttons. But yeah, so I still have that to do. And then I'm still trying to decide whether or not I will finish off these ends. I'm almost thinking I should do the I don't know what it's called, the Hong Kong finish or whatever. I don't know. The finish that you bind the seam allowance with a different fabric just to give it a more finished look. And I might do that actually. I might take this same fabric and with the binding, and I might like put that along this. So actually I will do that. And I want to get this done before my daughter goes on vacation, because she leaves on Tuesday, and so I still have a couple more days. And then it has this cute little detail in the back, this little like pleat detail. I'm not sure what to do about that facing. You know, I just really don't really like it. You know, it probably should have ended right here. And if I was to redo it, that's probably what I would do. But, well, it's not too late now. I could unpick it all, but that would be a lot of unpicking. And that would just be a pain. You know. So I'll just leave it. So also, while I was making this, I had a problem with my sewing machine. Oh my goodness. It just all started like looping up like really bad. Like it kept eating my thread and looping up on in the bobbin area. And so I know that has to do with the top thread, okay? So I take everything out of the bottom bobbin case, and I clean it out with my little brush and everything, and test it out, and it's still doing it. I rethread it multiple times, and it's still doing it. I changed the needle twice, and it was still doing it. So I took it apart. Well, I took the bottom off, made sure that was clean, took the light cover thing off and looked at that and made sure that was clean, ran it for a minute, you know, put the new needle in it, rethreaded it, and tried it, and it was still doing it. So I'm like, what the heck? I've done everything, and my tension was set at 4, no big deal. And I even put down my presser foot and, you know, made sure that it had the right tension on that on the thread, and it had the tension that it was supposed to have. And so I'm like, what the heck? So I run my stitch pattern selector thing all the way through the different stitches. I think I have like 21 different stitches, and so I run that all through. I make sure that the buttonhole lever isn't down. You know, I run all that through, and it's still doing it. I'm like, I've done everything I'm supposed to do. And so then I'm like, okay, let's keep trying. So I get the piece of fabric. So as you can tell here, like the blue was the bottom because I had switched different colors, and that's the top is what I got it to do. And so what I did is I turned the tension dial all the way to 9. So I like made the tension like way tight, and it started working. It wasn't nesting up. I'm like, huh. So I slowly turn it down as I'm sewing through it, and it's doing okay. And then I get it back down to 5, and it's doing fine. I'm like, all right, I think I got it fixed. But that was just the weirdest thing. And so this morning, well, actually last night I think it was, or was it this morning? I don't know, just somehow YouTube, like, somehow suggest, like, it just pulled up on my feed about, like, the bobbin, like, nesting up and how to fix it. And, you know, their clues were good enough, kinda, sorta. I didn't watch it till after I fixed it, but I'm like, you know, they really didn't mention many of those different scenarios where, well, I guess one of them did, saying, well, if you've done everything you can and you just can't figure it out and nothing is working, it's time to send it to a repair shop. And I'm like, my machine has never gone to a repair shop. I have never sent my machine that I use at this moment, the Brother XL3025. It's a machine I've had since like 1996. So I've had it a long time. And I've taken care of it. I have never ever had to take it to a repair shop for servicing at all. And it still works great. It just had that little issue. But I got it figured out. Like the stitching on the bottom here, that is after I got it figured out. So it stitched beautifully. You know, when it started messing up, I was trying to sew on the facing. So I was trying to sew along here for the facing to sew it onto the fabric. And is when it was messing up. But I got it all fixed. And later I go up to my husband, I'm like, I got it figured out. He's like, oh good. I'm like, yeah, it just took a little bit of time. And I was afraid I was going to have to switch it out to one of my other machines. Because I do have more than one sewing machine. I have another Brother machine. I have a SC625. It's a sewing and embroidery machine. And I like to use that for like my buttonholes and my buttons. Like when I'm sewing those on. Because it does it so beautifully. And I do have another Brother. I have a Brother CSI 6000, and so I have that does beautiful buttonholes too. It's just I kind of switch back and forth between my machines. I guess that's what you're supposed to do, is switch between your machines so that you're using your different machines, so each of them get time. And so I try to do that. I do have a couple other machines. I have a Brother machine that I got from the thrift store for $5 because I was there and they had a $5 mark on the case. And I pick up the case and it's got a machine in it. I'm like, so is the machine for sale too? Okay. It only had like, so let me go ahead and pull out the casing out of my machine because it will show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So this piece is part of the mechanism inside my machine. And the little like thing there was bent. And it was just kind of scattered in the box. You know, it wasn't all like put in there together because it's got this piece that goes in there, and then it's got this that holds the thread bobbin. And the machine, it was just a simple machine. It only does straight stitch and zigzag. It has like, and then it has a left, middle, and right needle position, which is great. I love that feature on it. And I actually have a video where I use that machine to do a buttonhole, because my other machines, I don't know, they were just being finicky, and I was doing like a heavier duty project or whatever at the time, and I just decided to do a video on like making buttonholes like the old-fashioned way, with just a zigzag, no buttonhole foot, no buttonhole setting, just a zigzag setting. And I'd shown how to do that on that kind of machine, and that was great. So I call that my learning machine for my kids, because it's a machine that it's easy to figure out what's wrong with it, and to fix, and to maintenance if something happens to it. Because straight and zigzag, what else is there? You know? So yeah, that's what my machine was doing last night. Oh my goodness. It was quite a mess. But I got that all figured out, you know, and it works great now. No big deal. Couple needle changes, cleaning it all out, taking it apart, putting it back together, you know, and adjusting the tension. Even though there should have been nothing wrong with the tension, because the tension, and I had it threaded right and everything, and it was still messed up. So yeah. So I'm working on that. I still have my other projects that I talked about last week that I haven't sewn up yet, but I will get to. I guess most of the other things I need to sew up, well, I have the one for my 6-year-old, and then I have projects for me. And I hear someone. Hi.
Hi.
What's up? So I got this much done.
I'm guessing you're doing a video about it?
Oh, I already talked about this. I still have to put the binding on there.
Yeah. Looks nice.
I don't really like how the facing turned out, but you might like it. You want to try it on?
Sure.
Still gotta add the buttons and the buttonholes.
Yeah.
Gonna fit you okay? Yeah, that seems like it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Or do you want me to start the buttons? Well, I know you don't want it to button all the way
Right
up.
there.
Okay.
Do you need a mark hand or something?
I don't need to, but I will.
Just gets in your video.
There you go.
I think she's recording right now.
Yeah, I am.
Oh.
But I just edited it out.
She
Because
does.
I find if I pause the video in the middle,
It doesn't say
then
most
it just
of
it doesn't sync the mouth movements with my voice as well.
Oh.
It just has that little off thing, and so I might as well have just like stopped the video and restarted it. So there's 2 different sections.
Yeah.
So I just rather continue to record it and then
Just chop
edit it
out.
out. Yeah. I got interrupted by my husband and my daughter. Yeah. And they're like, "You're recording a video?" I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "You're still recording?" And my husband's like, "No, she's not recording." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." I don't like to pause it, because if I pause it, then the video, it just doesn't sync. Just trying to figure that out in my mind. Yeah. So it doesn't sync right. And so it's just all scawampus. You know, I need to make another ball too. Where did that come from? Just totally off left field, right? Well, because sitting here, I have this pile of like little ball templates. Yeah, little ball templates that I did. And I have them because I made a ball for my son. Okay? And I wanted to make another ball. Well, see, I wanted to make another ball out of this cute little fabric here, which probably used to be a blanket or something that got cut up. But it's a cute little fabric, and I have a couple pieces, and I should have enough to cut out for a ball. Even if it's just this little small ball, that's just like a hand ball, I should have enough to cut that out. And I just haven't done it yet. Well, that's another project. Yep, lots and lots of projects. But yeah, well, that's life. My daughter leaves on Tuesday, so she'll be gone for 6 weeks. My husband leaves soon. He has a military thing he's got to go to. Yeah, that's fun. So I'll be home with my 4 little kids. That's even better, right? Maybe. Alright. Well, I guess that's really all. Oh, and we did go out to dinner tonight. Yeah, we did. We actually went out somewhere. You know, I don't generally like to go out to dinner, especially with a larger family, because man, is it expensive. It's like $100 for 8 of us. Yeah, there was 8 of us. We had 4 adults and 4 little kids. $100. We went to Golden Corral. It's because that's where my daughter wanted to go. So she's leaving soon, but her birthday is in a couple days after she leaves. And so she wanted to do like a little birthday dinner before she left. So it was good food. Yeah, it was a good time. Her boyfriend came along, and you know, we celebrated the birthday, August birthdays, because my other daughters, so both of my daughters were born in August. My oldest was born the beginning of August. My youngest daughter was born the end of August. So when she goes to school, she started kindergarten at 4 years old. And then a couple days later, she turned 5. So she's little, and it's okay. It's great. But yeah. Alright, well, I guess that's all. Not much else to say, not much else to do, but just to work on my projects that I have waiting for me to do. And you know, and if you guys ever have like the nesting problems in your machines, don't give up. Just keep experimenting and seeing what you can do. Like, make sure it's threaded right. Change the needle. And if you have to, change the tension all the way up. And then slowly turn it back down. And maybe it'll fix itself. Who knows? But it sure did with me. Alright. Well, have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.